Hey, hello. My name is Sierra, for those of you who don't know, but I go by CC. And I'm at work, got some downtime, so I decided to just start doing a little talking. Okay? So this month is Mental Health Awareness Month. And this is a subject that is close to me because I have dealt with depression and self esteem and past suicidal thoughts. Okay. But one of the things that I wanted to speak about was um, postpartum depression. Okay. After having my baby, my first baby, and mental health really isn't spoken that much, especially between the Black community. We just recently started opening up more so on this subject. And another thing that's not spoken enough is the mental instability that comes after having a child sometimes, you know. And I believe that's very important because we see some mothers that harm their children and stuff like that, and we just think they're evil mothers and stuff like that. Granted, some of them may just be, but others may just be going through something and never reached out to anybody or tried to seek help for that, you know. But postpartum depression, okay? Basically, what postpartum depression is the pretty much like hormonal combination of fatigue, anxiety, and changes to becoming a mother. So we go through a lot with our hormones, when we become a mother anyways. So after childbirth, a lot of those hormones change and they don't go away. They change and become anxiety, depression, fatigue, like I said, just overwhelming. So when I had my first son, I was so happy. I love my kids. I have two kids, two boys, Carson and Carter, age 7 and 6. And I was so happy, so happy when I had them. But after giving birth to my first child, as a new mother especially, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming, and I was trying to do this by myself because I ended up being a single mother. And I remember so like prominent one night just sitting there and my baby was just crying. I couldn't get him to stop crying. Oh my God. Lord knows I tried everything to try to get him to stop crying. Feeding him, rocking him, holding him. He was just crying and I didn't know what to do. And I was sitting there, I just started bawling myself because I was like, it was just getting to me. I'm like, everything was overwhelming. I'm like, I don't even know what to do. I'm like, I'm mad at my baby right now because I don't know how to stop him from crying. And I just remember just sitting there just crying. And luckily, I had the support of my family, my parents. My mom came in. Um, I don't even know if I called her or she just happened to just continuously hear the crying. But she comes in and she sees me, and I'm just sitting there just boohoo crying, and he's crying, and she's like, "It's okay, it's okay." She gets him and she helps me, but it was tough. So imagine me having that support of my mom, and it just being something that was just like had me like in a dark space. Imagine that for somebody who doesn't have support, from their spouse or from a family. It can be very tough and trying. So that's why, ladies, if you are feeling any of those emotions, I beg you seek help because you need to get relief from that. You need to know how to deal with that and stuff. Because I knew I wasn't going to physically harm my baby, but everybody isn't me. Some people just they break. They break under a lot of pressure. Like I said, stuff get overwhelming and stuff, and you don't want to make any mistake. All right, so there are different levels and severity to it. Um, so starting with the first one they have. So one of them is the baby blues symptoms. And these signs only last for like a few days or a couple weeks. And the symptoms for them are mood swings, anxiety, sadness, irritability, feeling overwhelmed, crying, reduced concentration, appetite problems, and trouble sleeping. Okay, postpartum depression signs and symptoms are depressed mood or severe mood swings, excessive crying, difficulty bonding with your baby, withdrawing from family and friends, loss of appetite or eating much more than usual, inability to sleep or sleeping too much, overwhelming fatigue or loss of energy, reduced interest in pleasure and activities you used to enjoy, intense irritability and anger, fear that you're not a good mother, hopelessness, feelings of worthlessness, shame, guilt, or inadequacy, diminished ability to think clearly, concentrate, or make decisions, restlessness, severe anxiety and panic attacks, thoughts of harming yourself or your baby, recurrent thoughts of death or suicide. Very, very severe case. Next, we have postpartum psychosis, which is confusion and disorientation, obsessive thoughts about your baby, hallucinations and delusions, sleep disturbances, excessive energy and agitation, paranoia, attempts to harm yourself or your baby. Now the severity. All right, now I'm not going to read this one in its entirety, and this is actually a new one for me because there aren't as many single fathers or fathers raising their kids by themselves as women, but for the active fathers and single fathers, there is new father postpartum depression. Okay, so you may feel sad or fatigued, overwhelmed, experience anxiety, or have changes in your usual eating and sleeping patterns as well. So that's a good note. You know, your mental is very precious and very important. Okay, so you want to seek help. You don't have to do it alone, you know. And me going through some of that, if you want to reach out and talk to me about it, I don't mind. You can DM me at my Instagram at ccdevo89, and I can talk to you. I'm no therapist, but sometimes just having somebody who's experienced something similar to you can help, and have them give you some insight, and just a ear to listen can help. Seek help. Don't be afraid, don't be ashamed. Okay? Because you need that. You need that. Your mental health is part of self-care. We go and get our hair done, our lashes, our nails. We take care of wash and clean our face and take care of our body and stuff like that. But that mental is more precious than anything we can do to our physical. Because once your mind goes left, deteriorates, or whatever, and you ever heard the phrase, a mind is a terrible thing to waste? Very. You don't want to lose grip. You do not want to lose grip on your reality. You do not want to lose yourself. All right, here I have attached some important information. I pulled all of this information up from the Mayo Clinic website. Was when to see a doctor. Okay, if those feelings don't fade after 2 weeks, they're getting worse. It's making it hard for you to care for you or your baby and complete everyday tasks, including thoughts of harming yourself or your baby. Those are significant times to definitely go and see a doctor. A doctor. And also, I have attached the suicidal hotline numbers and ways to deal with suicidal thoughts. All right. So you want to seek help from a primary care provider or other health care professional. Call a mental health professional. Call the suicide hotline, numbers listed below in the website, and reach out to close friends and loved ones. Family and friends can help if you open up to them. And contact a minister, spiritual leader, or someone else in your faith community for those of you with religious backgrounds. Okay? So, just a little chat, coming from my mental stuff that be on my mind. I think I might do a couple of these videos a little more often because I have been through a lot of experiences, and it's a lot of stuff that we as a black community, as black women, should touch on besides just toxic relationships and BS. So, those of you who watched or are watched, thank you. And just remember, get help. Hey, get help. It's okay. It's okay to be afraid. It's okay to not be okay. Okay? Just get help for yourself, because in the long run, it'll not only help you, but those around you. Okay? Those precious babies that you have, they need a strong person to guide them and take care of them. Okay? There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it. Focus on your mental as well as your physical, ladies. Till next time.